Hello, Trent. This will be some video feedback for week 3, and I'll begin with the discussion on ethics and copyright. Trent, I agree with you, but I studied those images, beginning with the Frank Davidovich ad. And I'm assuming that he was not only the photographer, but he was also the designer of the ad. In an ad like that, it's fashion ad, it's kind of one of the same, like an art director, photographer, designer. But then when you study the changes that Koons made, you might come away from that. Because although they're subtle, the changes that Koons made, for example, swapping out the face of the model of the ad for his ex-wife, for that of his ex-wife, and then also other changes too, making a, well, these are from the ad too, a pig instead of a Saint Bernard as something that, a rescue dog that goes out with a cask of brandy to people who are in avalanches or stranded in snow. All those things are European illusions too, and Koons' market, I think, is, for the most part, well, it's worldwide now, but maybe at the time it was mostly in Europe. But there's all other issues surrounding Koons' work, such as, who makes his work. He doesn't make his own. He hires skilled craftsmen who remain anonymous. So at the root of it, there are some questions about authenticity. Here is your Photoshop file, and let me zoom out to give it some room here. Sorry. Might it be a little vertically compressed? It looks a little squashed. Okay, but other than that, you've got it on layers. You've got, oh, I see. Oh, interesting. So you've made part of it monochrome or black and white, and you've made the other half of it color. Interesting. Well, I'm curious what your intention was. And you have a mask for the water, it looks like. And if I take away everything, that's what it looks like in color and the size on layers. Great job. Good job of masking. Too, a feathered mask too. Very skillful. Good job, Trent. Trent, here is your Adobe Illustrator file. I see that you've got the, again, zoom out on that. It's always interesting to me to see what people have open when they're working on these, because I inherit your preferences, I think. And layers. I'm looking for layers. Oh, here we go. You've got a layer for the logo. And but notice that it's a PNG. Is that the correct file format? It may it needs to be a vector file. It looks correct. It doesn't look distorted. However, I do see like a halo around the italic type. But anyway, nonetheless, you've got a layer for it. You've got a layer for your skillful masking, that very soft edge mask that goes from black and white down to full color. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks a little laterally compressed. I think I've noted that in your feedback. And then I'm assuming that the background layer, you made it white, but you could also make it any other color, except that you intend to have a four-side bleed for your background image. And I think that's great. I think that's a good idea. It'll be very dramatic and I think distinctive. So good job in using layers to put your ingredients on. Just make sure that this is a vector image.